These Egyptian hieroglyphics are the menu screen for a sports game. I'm serious. Take a second to look at this. How would you even begin to unravel this mystery? The 16-bit era was a time where a lot of our mainstream games from today got their first break. Your FIFAs, your Maddens. But are we here today to talk about those kind of games? Oh no. My name is Gaz, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you two of the strangest sports games that you've never played. When I was a child, I loved nothing more than sitting down on a Saturday morning to watch Hanna-Barbera cartoons, often with my mum, my dad, sometimes my grandparents if I was lucky. And a lot of publishers brought out some games using those characters. More often than not, they were platform games akin to Yogi Bear. Sometimes there were Mario Party board games, which were incredible. But someone thought, well, if we have all these characters, what is the best use for them? And they put their minds together and they came up with Toons, a cross-country sports racing game. The title screen loads up and we press start and we're thrown straight into a race. Each character has slightly different stats, although truthfully it's not too noticeable. Apart from Quick Draw McGraw, who is the fastest and will often win this race. As the other competitors can spin you around by bumping into you, there's only one surefire tactic for this level. Yes, like my wife at a buffet, it pays to get to the front of the line first. You see, if you rented this back in the day, or if you were lucky and borrowed it from a friend, you would think this game only has one race because as soon as the competitors are finished, you're taken back to the start screen. So this is where the game gets strange, or I should say stranger, because the menu options are not hidden behind the start button like you would expect. No, you have to press select, and then you're presented with the strangest, weirdest menu screen I've ever seen. I did show you this earlier in the video, but what on earth do you make of this? Can you imagine renting this as a child and coming face to face with this option screen? Each row is concerned with a different area of the game, and each individual picture changes that mode. How is anyone able to decipher this? It's like asking a child to crack the Enigma code. Thankfully, the manual gives you a step-by-step guide to understand the screen, but you will need this book with you at all times to translate this game. I've played this game for years, and even now I still forget or get confused about what some of the symbols mean, but it's from this screen that you can change from a single-player race into a circuit race, and this is where the game truly starts to blossom. Once we have selected the cup mode, chosen our character and the number of human players, etc., we begin a career mode of sorts. We compete across a range of different levels from different cartoons, all complete with little nods and Easter eggs to the source material. I particularly like this swamp level because the boats traverse the waters and add an extra hazard to the track. At the end of each level, the little coloured gems that you pick up during your race can be spent to increase your attributes, meaning you can build your character in different ways. This adds some freshness each time we play because you'll never collect the same gems each race. Again, this would have been nice to have been explained to us in more detail, but once again our trusty manual guides us. I'm telling you, this game must be so difficult to find in mint condition because all the manuals must have been thumbed through so often, they must be tattered and hanging off by a thread. Now as a child, I used to love reading my manuals. Often before even playing the game, I would open them up and look through them and look at all the artwork and see the hints and the tips. But I don't recall ever having a game where I needed the manual beside me at all times like this game. So you compete over a number of races and attempt to finish first overall, which unlocks extra race competitions, which is a nice feeling of progression, and the races fly by at a pretty nice pace. The game is challenging, but it has its quirks. You can often find yourself caught in a loop of being hit by other characters and spinning around before the person behind you hits you again and spins you around more. But this adds to the unknown aspect of each individual race. There are hazards and shortcuts that can be explored, and the graphics do make you feel like you're watching and playing a cartoon. Again, for a racing game, I think this really stands out. Is it amazing? Is it a life-changing experience? Well, no, clearly not. But it was never designed to be a mass market game. It has a target audience and I am part of that. Do you know what? It makes me smile. It reminds me of watching cartoons around my grandparents' house, and even now when I play it, I'm still thrown straight back into those days of sitting on the sofa with a bowl of sweets, just laughing non-stop. And even thinking about it now, when I finish this video, I'm probably going to go and have another go at this. I really recommend you try it. Okay, let's move on to the TurboGrafx. Now, hands up if you love tennis. Yeah, okay, look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a massive tennis fan. I've played a few and I like some of them, but it has to be something a bit special for me to like it. Luckily, I have something a bit special for you. This game is World Court Tennis. Now, don't let this really generic cover fool you. I know what you're thinking, you'll probably find this somewhere in a bargain bin, but if you were to walk past this, you'd be missing a very unique game. Here, let me show you a little bit more about this one. This game contains a single player mode, a doubles mode, and a full-on RPG that reminds me of the early Dragon Quest and even Pokemon. It's bizarre. Let me show you. So we will choose a name and let's head out on our quest. Okay, our quest takes part in a magical land and we're introduced to our king of the story. Now, who would like to have a guess what this king is called? Arthur? Midas? Kong? Yes, the game has gone with the generic pick of QFFHCD Arj. Anyway, King QFFHCD Arj ask us for a favour. Well, we all know orders and commands are old school. This hipster king is a man of the times. You see, in this kingdom, tennis was a unifying glue that held peace together. You can forget Kendall Jenner and her Pepsi, or even Coca-Cola with their hand-holding. No, what you need is less drinks that are gassy and more Andre Agassi. But evil tennis king has reared his head, snatched the royal equipment and pinched the official courts. Now, like Pokemon, we set out to beat the gym leaders, win our badges and take out the champion. Sorry, I mean beat the court champions, win a court pearl, yes you heard me, and beat the evil king at his own game. That game being tennis, if you haven't already guessed. King QFFHCD Arj gives us a kingly sum of $500 and basic equipment, and we're set off into the magic world. Oh, this is a nice place. Let's see what nice things the townsfolk will say. Well... Oh, a shop. Let's see if I can spend that 500. Nope, a racket costs 5,000. 5,000. Okay, I guess that might be useful. Yeah, but that seems fairly obvious. Great, any information you might like to share with me now? This is Chicago? You cannot be serious. Now I know I'm English, but the last time I checked, Chicago did consist of more than a handful of village buildings and a castle. And again, I've never heard about Illinois kings fighting over 6 magical tennis courts. So we head out into Chicago and we marvel at its oceans and forests, and then we are straight into traditional RPG tropes. We have random encounters, we beat up on locals for small change, and I lose. A lot. Over. And over. And over. And over again. Each time we are transported back to the castle and we're told off by our king. Hang on a minute, wasn't he called QFFHCD Arj? What's happening? Yep, this king changes his name more times than we change opponents. After a while we get some more money, we can buy some equipment which increases our stats, we slowly get better and we can finally make it further into the world where we arrive at Paris. As we all know, Paris is only a short hike away from Chicago. I learnt that in secondary school geography class. And from there on, we go to more exotic fantasy locations such as Toronto. But I know what you're thinking. This is a tennis game. I'm sure you're going to play some real famous tennis people, some tennis celebrities. Well, kind of. Who do you think you might meet in a random encounter? Yes, that is Jason Voorhees. Yes? I have no idea why. So now it's just a matter of travelling the world, taking down the court champions, retrieving the magic pearls, which you have to use to reduce the evil tennis king's abilities and make it a more manageable contest. And that's it, you've saved the kingdom. Okay, I wish I could show you footage of me beating the king and taking down all these court champions, but I have to be honest with you, I haven't. I can't beat this game. I have beaten all of the Dark Souls games, all of the FromSoft games really. I can 1cc Radiant Silvergun. I feel like I'm pretty good at computer games. I cannot play this game, I'm terrible at it. I think half the reason is that when you switch and you take the top of the court, I can't seem to hit the ball back. But I tell you what, it's a testament to this game that I actually want to carry on playing it. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it, and it has that feeling of just one more try. Sure, I'm going to be destroyed that next time, but it doesn't stop me, and I think that's what makes this game so unique and interesting. A tennis RPG on paper is quite an interesting idea. I can imagine a game where you create your character, you build yourself up from scratch, you go around all the circuits around the world, you raise your attributes. But to take tennis and throw it into this fantasy land with kings and magical items and random encounters, it really makes this a very strange game. Honestly, if you get the chance to get this, and it's not that expensive, I recommend having a go at this, because if you like RPGs, it has all those elements to it. If you like sports games, the tennis game is actually pretty tight. The mechanics are good. It reminds me a little bit like Super Tennis, a game that comes a little bit later. Another game I actually don't mind playing. I think, honestly, give this one a go. You'll be surprised. I'm not the biggest sports game fan in the world. I think a lot of them nowadays have become phoned in, yearly update kind of games that don't offer anything new or anything exciting. And I think some of the exciting franchises have actually sort of fallen by the wayside over the years and have disappeared from our gaming shelves. But World Court Tennis and Turbo Toons tried to do something different. They said, why don't we take some games, cross-country running, tennis, and how do we make them as strange as possible? And I, for one, am all for that. I think a lot of games now are safe. People don't take risks, maybe outside of the indie circuit a little bit. But these games, they're wonderful, and I recommend them wholeheartedly. So thanks once again for stopping by and sharing some time with me. If there's any games like these that you think I might have missed, please put them in the comments. I'm always open to trying to find some strange, weird games that I've never played before. All that remains, as usual, is to watch one of our favourite characters living their best life as we fade to black. Catch you soon.